will try to keep it short and crisp. We have information now that the Director General of the World Bank, World Health Organization, Tedros, has now raised an alarm over the safety of the nuclear facilities in Iran following the US-Israeli strikes close to the Bushehr nuclear power plant. Tedros has said on X that the attack is a stark reminder a strike could trigger a nuclear accident with health impacts that would devastate generations. With every passing day of this escalating conflict, the stakes and threats are raised higher and higher. All right, Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev, this has been the fourth strike on Bushehr. There have been number of professionals who had been working, Russians who had been working in Bushehr nuclear plant that have been removed by the Russians. There have been warnings after warnings that Iran continues to give. Why do you think United States and Israel continue to aim at Bushehr?
I think it's a very, very risky strategy. Iran has only one civilian nuclear power plant which is running, and by definition civilian nuclear power plant has a large calendria, the core, and has the I think it has enriched uranium, low enriched uranium supplied by Russia, managed by Russia. Now if this plant was to leak or was to stop operating properly, then radioactive waste, dust, smoke could vitiate the entire region. We just have to remember what happened to Chernobyl in Ukraine, in Belarusia, when such an disaster took place, or whatever happened to Hiroshima in Japan when a tsunami hit it. So it's a risky strategy, and Iranian, if they decide to retaliate likewise, I shudder to think the only acting nuclear power plant in that region, in the Gulf region, is in UAE, which is 12,000 megawatt, 12 gigawatt plant, energized, built and energized and maintained by South Koreans. Now, if they decide to hit it, and UAE has been favorite target of Iranian IRGC for its ties with Israel and so on. So if that happens, it could be pretty difficult. For the
also the number of warnings that have been sent by Iran, that it's on the southern border of Iran where Bushehr has been struck. It is largely not going to impact Iranian population, but more so for Qatar and Oman. So that's also a warning. So can the United States really afford destruction at the risk of damaging infrastructure in Qatar, damaging the lives, killing of a number of people in Qatar and in Oman? All right, there's more information. Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sari has now claimed responsibility for a strike on Israel's Ben Gurion airport in Jaffa. He says that drones and cluster munitions were used. Coming back to my guest, Group Captain D.K. Pandey, again there have been repeated consistent attempts to destroy aviation infrastructure of Israel. There have been successful attempts that have been made not just by Iran but the proxies that are fighting on behalf of Iran as well. How is this going to impact Israel's capabilities?
Definitely, if it is the civil airfield, definitely they can, it will affect their civil aviation operations. And there is no doubt, which you have mentioned also. Now, coming on the military airfields, whether they could target military airfield and what was the degree of damage, because nowadays we do have runway rehabilitation plans, which gets the runways ready in 3 to 4 hours, and maximum by 10 hours, because the number of times cluster bombs are dropped, which takes time, and timeline is given in each piece, and they start bursting one after another, or it may take about 12 hours to 24 hours also. So all those things, but at the same time, counter actions are there. So restricting military operations may not be possible for any country nowadays, because the type of technology which has been developed. So Israelis are very, very professional. They know they have got the limited resources and their experience on the battlefield in this area. I doubt if their operations will be hampered by such operations. Nevertheless, Houthis as Hezbollah, the way they are trying to disrupt the Israelis' operations, that is definitely a point of concern, because the whole focus on Iran gets dispersed with the help of these axis of resistances. Now, Houthis came late, but they have announced they are very much in the war. And the way Hezbollah has been handled, the total line that Latvian river is going to be the boundary what they are talking. So various developments are taking place. Time will only tell what is going to be the actual on the ground.
Okay, all right. And we are also getting information that the Israeli military has said that it's striking Hezbollah targets in the Lebanese capital in Beirut. Israeli jets have been flying low over the city for the past hour. Their screams audible to the residents. There has been an unrelenting parallel attack by Israel on Hezbollah. There have been a number of civilian casualties that have also been reported from Lebanon. There have been attempts that are being made by Israel to shift the buffer zone, shift the border, and capture the southern part of Lebanon. Do you think this is going to be feasible, and how successful is Israel going to be in achieving its goal?
In the history, in the last 4 decades, Israel has tried at least twice before to capture and create a buffer zone in southern Lebanon, up to Litani River. And this strategy has not succeeded, because the exposed Israeli presence in that area has been advantageous to Hezbollah for sniper attacks, ambushes, and so on. In fact, in 2000, Israelis themselves decided to abandon that zone, buffer zone created by them earlier, because of the mounting losses to their military. So the strategy this time is slightly different. They are trying to uproot all villagers who are of Shia extraction. Only the Christian villagers are being allowed to stay. They are destroying Shia villages, and they seem to have decided that all Shias south of Litani River are sympathizers of Hezbollah, and they have to be uprooted and sent across the river. So that is a risky strategy once again, because these Shia uprooted refugees would be cannon fodder to the Hezbollah cadres.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ambassador Sachdev, and thank you, Group Captain Pandey, for joining us, sharing those important insights. Stay tuned on NewsX. We bring you latest updates on the West Asia war as it unfolds.